money. This is generational changing wealth. And because of the way our financial system is right now, this may be one of the last opportunities to get in on something like this for generations to come. There's not going to be
Yeah.
another opportunity like this.
Well,
And
thank you, Cheryl, for being on with us. I'm so glad we were able to do this call and hear a little bit more about you, your story, your journey, where you've started, where you've gotten to, everything you've been through. I'm super excited to be able to share this with other people that have been in the same situation as you. So, you've been with us over a year and a half now, right?
correct.
Yeah, it's been a year and a half. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and then also just tell us a little bit about where you've come from, where you were before you joined Crypto Start, joined our DAS community, and where you're at now.
Sure. Well, I'm close to retirement age, so 65 actually over. So, it was time to start looking at how I was gonna retire, and I was like, "This isn't looking good." And I had a friend call me who is actually been with you longer than I have, and she said, "We were talking to Jeremy," which is your dad, and he said, "Who do you wanna be wealthy with?" And that was she called me and said, "I wanna be wealthy with you. Are you interested?" So that was the beginning. That was
Remember that call too. I remember talking with our community and we're like, it's about money, it's about wealth, building wealth, but none of those things are really important unless you're doing it with who you love. And so that's awesome. Young called you, um, and then you called me. So where were you before? Where were you financially? What did you have set up? I know you're saying you were. I remember talking on the phone with you. You were at the retirement age. You're like, okay, I need to have something set in place. So where were you before you came into Crypto Start, and what did your financial situation look like?
well, I had a little bit put away, but basically I had a Fidelity account and it was in stock and I never did very well. I had, less than $50,000, I'll put it that way. I didn't have a lot of money. And to get ready to retire nowadays, that'll take care of a few emergencies and that's about it. That's not gonna get you very far. And I was praying. I said, "Lord, what am I supposed to do? I have no idea." I didn't know where things were coming from. I'd always been a giver all my life, so I've given away a lot of money, and I said, "Lord, if I'm supposed to give. You want me to give, so I'm giving my way into my retirement." So, that was the beginning, and after I started my Crypto Start, education, it was like, "Okay, here we go." And,
Yeah,
that
so
w
you came in and you were on this route where, okay, you knew that you needed to change something and you needed to start being able to prepare for the future, but you also have a family. And I love hearing you talk about this, but you really wanted to leave something meaningful for them as well. And so, what was kind of that initial feeling about crypto where you were because I knew you were a little nervous. You were like, "Okay, I know I see the changes coming. I know I wanna get in, but and these are the things I want." But you had some s not setbacks, but some things that were kinda holding you back at first, but you were able to overcome those, and so talk a little bit on that.
I guess just learning when you first start this and you haven't had any connection to crypto, it takes a little time just to feel more comfortable. In the beginning, it was all Greek, as they say, and I just had to keep listening and watching and checking out videos and doing the training, the videos that you guys had to set everything
Yeah, the
up.
Crypto Start program
Right,
set up.
and that was awesome. And that helped me to get started because what I eventually did was to liquidate all the stock that I had in my Fidelity account and then move it over to I Trust Capital that has a great platform that allows you to keep your IRA, whether a regular or a Roth, and purchase crypto. So I decided to go all the way in. It took me a little while to get going. The Crypto Start program is basically 3 months, and we were about a month and a half, almost 2 months in, and Kinley said, "Okay, where are you guys? Because, you're halfway through the program. Have you done anything yet?" And it was like all of a sudden there was a fire under me.
Mhm.
And then I was able to after that point, it was I don't know, I guess it was just a learning curve. That's probably
Yeah.
really what it was, and all of a sudden, I got started, and then I went gung ho and
Mhm.
all in, and I'm still I'm still comfortable with that, which is very to me, it's like, "Wow, how did I settle on that?" But I think there
Right.
was more of a spiritual component to it as well as a financial.
Right, because you came in, and since you were one of our individuals that came in and knew nothing, you didn't have any previous experience with crypto, you didn't know much about it except that the world was changing, that you knew that there were these specific cryptocurrencies that were actually accelerating people. But when you came in, I remember you really did just take on to the education, and you were like, okay, I want to develop confidence in this before I move, before I just start investing right away. Which I think and you can kind of touch on that because sometimes there's a misconception of, okay, if I take this program, I'm going to start investing day one, which is not the case. It's usually, okay, when you take the program, there's a learning curve where we give you all the information, all of it very simplified, but you still have to learn it, and then you develop that confidence to then invest. So what was that point? Because I remember for you, but I want you to touch on it. What was that point that shifted for you that you were like, okay, wow, I actually see where this is going, and now I'm ready to invest. I've learned enough. I'm ready to actually take action and put my money here.
Well, the beginning a lot of it's logistics. It's just learning how to go through the steps, learning about specifically about security, because that was a big deal for me to learn about
Yes.
how to be safe online, how to set up your email without your name in it. I mean, all of these things that were completely foreign to me. And yes, you did simplify the steps, but it was a learning curve of saying, okay, so I have to set up a separate email without my name in it, something that no one could tie to me if they didn't know that it was my email, and set up a VPN. All that stuff was foreign to me, and I'm not a techie person, so took me a little while of just sitting with it and watching the videos a few times. But once I did that and I got the fire under me, I was able to get all of that set up and then reach out to I Trust Capital and start my process. I moved my, funds over in stages. So I didn't do it all at
Mhm.
once, but it
Which
was felt good to get
Right,
going.
which is totally fine too, and it's a it's a great process to do, is to start with a little, then do a little bit more, then do a little bit more, and that's exactly what you did. Is you followed the steps in the program, and us showing you different routes and you choosing the I Trust Capital route, which has been awesome for you. So share a little bit about, where are you sitting now with your portfolio that you've built? And what increase have you seen and how has it changed your life?
Well, honestly, right in the beginning, when I first started to, you know, move my funds and get started in I Trust Capital, there was something I felt empowered. It's the wildest thing. It was like I finally felt like I had some hope and I was going to be able to have a retirement and, have more than I was looking forward to because the stock market for me, nothing was happening there, and I wasn't ever gonna be able to make a difference. I didn't have enough to I mean, I know there's people who, "Oh, if I do this and this and but I would have been with my face in a computer all the time, and I just felt like the return wasn't gonna be worth it. There wasn't gonna be enough. So, moving forward and just working on the process really made me feel better. I felt like I was more in control of my life and would be
Right,
able
because you were
to
in kind of just a traditional 401k, um, IRA route where, they're saying it's safe, it's conservative, you're gonna grow your money, but you were seeing some percentages, but it wasn't anything life-changing or anything advancing, right?
No, I was not going to be able to retire on it. Would have
Right.
only been for emergencies. I didn't have enough money to do anything with, and it had been in there already 10 years, so whatever I had invested, I made a little bit, I lost. I lost. So I kinda stayed in the same window, I didn't make any progress. Right now
Yeah.
with XRP, um, I have increased 3 my portfolio is up, so that's completely different than anything I had before.
Amazing,
It
Cheryl,
was yes, I know. That was crazy sneaking
and
up.
that's so amazing to see that, you got in, there was a learning curve, but you were able to digest the information enough and understand and build a confidence to then take the steps necessary to invest, to move your capital, and now you're sitting up over 300% within your portfolio, which most people, I'm just going to congratulate you on that because most people don't ever see that in a lifetime in stocks or even other investments. And so you were really able to invest in specific digital assets. And what really gave you, the confidence to do so? Because those are life-changing numbers and you had to take action on that and put your portfolio there, take the steps, learn. And so as you went through the program, what gave you the confidence to do so? And now you're sitting where you're at.
It was being on weekly calls with you and Kinley and, and your dad and Jeremy, so it was just the education. That was really what it was. As I learned about the specific assets and what they actually were, and then started delving into it on my own, I got a real confidence about what I was hearing, and I knew that in my heart, I knew it was true, and there were plenty of facts to back that up. We're still, of course, waiting for some price increases and appreciation, but it still has already come along.
Yes. And which is awesome. I mean, you've reaped a lot of the benefits of being an early investor already, gaining over 300% in your portfolio. And now you're set in an amazing position to reap even more of the benefits of being an early investor. So, where do you see this going in the future? Where do you feel like you're positioned 2, 3, even 5 years into the future?
5 years into the future, I think that's when we're really gonna see the greater part of this. We would all like it to be sooner, but I'm
Right.
not sure that's coming. It could be in the next few months, but as things increase, I do want to set up, foundations, there's ministry that I wanna be involved in, there's people that I need to help. I feel a need, not just want, but I need, and I will also have enough to enjoy my sons and their families. They'll be able to come and visit me and, I'll be able to enjoy my retirement and travel some. I mean, there's all kinds of things I'd like to do that I
Yes.
haven't had the opportunity, so I'm definitely
Yeah, that's
looking forward to
amazing, and
that.
just to see the way you're talking, the understanding that you have that, okay, these things are possible now, that you've been invested in digital assets, that you've made those not just invested, but you invested in yourself to gain that education, to start implementing, and you believed in yourself, I think that's one of the main things that it is an indicator of success is just simply believing that you can have the success that we had. And through that step by step program, you were able to implement that and now see these returns and even greater in the future. And I love to hear that you're headed towards your vision and your goal. Um, and so, yeah, how has that really impacted you and your walk with your family, with the outlook that you have now versus, let's say, going back into when you first signed up? Um, where do you think you would be if you were never to have signed up with us and never took the program?
I would have been in the same spot, which wasn't very hopeful. For me, I'm excited. I've also part of this is taking on, um, learning how to handle the money that we're going to have, how to improve your outlook, how to look at what you're doing day to day, your decisions, and all the things that you're doing, how you're walking, whether you walk with the Lord, you're looking at other people, it's not just about you. That's that's what this was for me, was that it wasn't just about me. It was about the people that come into my life and my sons and my grandchildren now that I have a grandson, and, enjoying him and just knowing that there's going to be resources for them, that they
Yes.
can make good decisions and that they'll have something behind them because, financially, life is not easy right now, especially for younger people, unless they've got something substantial behind them, the
Right.
basic
And so
persons.
you being able to have more than enough now as you're invested and as you continue to invest to provide for your family is huge. And it's not just huge in the financial realm, but it's huge for a heart of a mother, a grandmother, of what you want to leave in your lifetime. Go ahead and what would you say to someone that, is was kind of in your position within being at that age of retirement and wanting to not just stay in the same amount of growth that they're maybe seeing right now, that might be doing something, but it's not really what they want to see, but they're looking for something to really accelerate them, but still at your age they want safety and security. They want something that is really going to work for them and not just be something random. What would you say to someone in that position?
Well, they need to be sure that they are investing in something that is solid. And I know that sounds strange for a digital asset because we're on the cutting edge. This is the beginning, but bottom line is there's not going to be a lot of opportunities that afford the ability to grow as much as we are growing and will continue to grow. I mean, people got into, digital assets early and they might have made some money, but it's very volatile. And this, even though, yes, there's volatility, we have not I haven't seen any great losses, quote unquote. So it's been fairly steady and, except for, we went up and then we went down, but now we're basically going sideways and praying for some increase. But that I believe that what we're invested in is going to make us serious wealth, not just money. This is generational changing wealth, and because of the way our financial system is right now, this may be one of the last opportunities to get in on something like this for generations to come. There's
Mhm.
not gonna be
Yeah.
another opportunity like this, and when you take all the factors into consideration, we're right on the edge of this thing being adopted and coming into its own, you know,
Mhm. Yes,
coming
and
to what it's been forecast
right.
to.
You're so right about that. And I think it is an opportunity that, is going to change a lot of people's lives and already has. I mean, it's changed my life. I know it's changed yours and all of our other community members as well who are a part of DAS and others that are invested in these assets. And I want to touch on something that you talked about. You said you need to be, if you're at retirement age, you need to be invested in something solid. And when you say that, most people think to, let's say, a 401k or, just gold and silver, which we all know we love gold and silver. We touch on that too. But why when you say something solid, why do you think your digital assets are solid? What has been the conviction you've built behind your specific digital assets compared to other cryptocurrencies that are out there that people are mainly scared of?
Well, in the education that I've gotten since I've been with you guys, you girls, you folks, the digital asset sisters, I've learned that there's been a lot of flaky stuff out there. People have lost a lot of money in digital assets because they were not built solidly. Where they came from, where they started, some fly by night guys decided to put up a meme coin and get all these people to invest in it. And then they just disappear with your money and you're left with nothing. And this is not this is not what that is. This is something that has been built over the last I guess it's over 10, almost 15 years that, this has been worked on and the rails have been put up all over the world. Almost every currency is covered and it's solid. It's to me, it's got a firm foundation in what it's supposed to do, which is to be a bridge currency for the back part of the financial system, which sounds
Yeah.
strange. So most people probably won't even know they're using it, but
Right.
it will be there. It will be a hidden asset, but it
Right.
will definitely be worth its weight in more than gold.
Yeah. It's true, and I mean, I love that you touch on the fact that there's a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there. There's a lot of other things out there that are meme coins. Oh, look, this is going to go to the moon, X, Y, and Z. You have all of that in the cryptocurrency space. And I love that you at your age can come in and learn something that is don't invest in those. Don't get into this specific realm. You can learn all the do's, but you can learn all the don'ts as well to mitigate your risks because I think that's the amazing thing that I've seen in our community is not only do they know what to invest in and like these solid digital assets like you're saying you've invested in, but they also know what not to do. And one thing that makes me sad is that I do see a lot of individuals stay out of the cryptocurrency realm because of all those negative things. And I think they're negative as well. I don't like them. And so, what would you say has given you security and a confidence or an understanding that, you know, that you're not in those negative things, that you're actually in something solid? What is that? What was that turning point for you that you were like, okay, I understand that this is legit?
Well, it was just, week after week, we talked about, not only security things, but the state of the digital asset realm and some of these different assets and new legislation that has come in. And uh, there's it just is solid. I don't know. I mean, I could go into depth on all kinds of things, but it's like people's eyes will glaze over.
Right.
Don't
And I
laugh.
just love that. I love that you have that confidence, you have that knowledge now. And the amazing thing is that you we have people come into our program that have been in cryptocurrency for a while, that just want a more solid foundation. They want to be in the digital assets we're in. They want to have a strategy. But you came in with none of that and you are so far ahead. Like there's no barrier to coming in and having success in this realm. It's just coming in and learning. And you're a prime example of that, which is amazing. So, what would you say to someone, as well, that is just nervous, that is like, I don't know if cryptocurrency is it for me. I, I'm I'm looking into it. I see people making money. I I just I don't know what I should be doing or if I should even be looking at this realm. What would you say for them?
Well, they need to get educated. They need to start looking and listening for themselves. You have to start somewhere. That's like, just working on your own heart, on your own personal walk with investing or your personal habits, the way your mind works. You have to be willing to invest in yourself and to spend the time and the money because you nothing comes for free. There's gonna be effort, there's gonna be cost. Um, I think that being with you guys has been wise. I really do. I just feel like I got such a great foundation listening and learning and going through the education that you put together. But also, I I just I don't know what that was. For me, I went right in. My son says to me, "Mom, you need another hobby," because my hobby has been digital assets for the last year and a half or so, and, I I tend to talk about it a lot, so
Yes.
to
Well,
me,
it's
it's
awesome
exciting.
when you become so knowledgeable about something, it usually is what comes out of your heart. Whatever's in the heart, the mouth speaks. And you mentioned your son a little bit, and he's actually in finances, right? And he was surprised. He said, because he was not too happy you were getting into digital assets, was he?
No.
And then he was like, Mom, you're you're doing what did he say? He said something about your percentages.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, you're doing better than I thought you would." So,
Yeah.
he was and I mean, we still haven't even we haven't gotten off the launch pad yet as far as I'm concerned. We've just barely gotten started, but
Oh,
because I got in
300%, just only 300%.
percent right, yeah, we're gonna go, 3,000, 300,000. The way it's going,
Yeah,
you know, we'll see what happens in the end, but as adoption is taking place right now, even behind the scenes. That's what's so interesting, that we haven't seen a lot of price increase, but things are happening underneath. The plumbing is
right,
getting fixed so that
right. And I
everything
think
will
that's something that's so powerful in this space too, is because when you start to see the future, it's almost crazy our perspective on things because in the traditional finance realm, we're almost like if they were to ever hear someone say 300%, we're just getting started, they would flip. They would say, "What? That's like what I can do for someone in their lifetime." And for us and for you being in the space so much, you're seeing where things are going and you're like, "Yeah, this is just the beginning." And so talk a little bit about that as well, with you know, with your percentage increase. What I really want to transition to here is it's about the money. It's about the wealth. It's about what you can actually go and achieve, and then provide for your family, provide a legacy, provide that generational wealth, and be in a way better position than you were before getting into the forefront of these digital assets. But what else have you gained from being in a community and being in this educational our group, DAS? Because it's about finances, but are there any other benefits outside of finances that you've been able to gain?
The community is definitely an excellent asset and a benefit that you don't think about because there's a lot of people who are sitting in this dark little corner with their computer and they're, madly trading or, whatever they're up to. But this is more than that, because we all tend toward the same heart to benefit other people. It's not just about us. But if someone has the assets and the ability to build, to put together things that you need large sums of money to do, we as a group would be able to come together and put together different financing vehicles, and
Yes.
make a difference for a lot of people, not just for us. And
Yeah.
that's, what kind of investments do we wanna make that would change other people's lives, not just our own?
Mhm.
That's really
Yeah. And it's about the digital assets, right? It's about us investing in those, but as those increase, you have to understand, what are you gonna do with that increase? What are you gonna do altogether with where we're all at and we've seen that happen as we've all increased together as a community as we go through this. It's like, okay, you have to position your heart, your character, your foundation for these increases. And I say that like crypto isn't for everyone, and especially the benefits because if you're increasing 300% in a year and then you look 5, 10 years down the road where this is going, you have to be prepared for that wealth to come into your life. So how would you say that um you know DAS and being involved in the community and then just going through the crypto start program, how has that changed your mindset?
well, like I said, the whole area was new, was a whole new subject for me. I was not involved in crypto at all. I've been a bookkeeper for close to 50 years. So, I knew about finances, but basically it was more like being a bean counter than an accountant where, you're looking to shift large amounts of money and do different things that'll change the way your finances look. To me, this made a huge difference for me. There wasn't Like I said, there wasn't gonna be another opportunity I felt in my lifetime, and I looked at all the solid people that I knew, my friend Young, who called me and, invited me to join you, um, you know, they all have assets. People have things, and I've been single for over 20 years, and there wasn't a lot of extra income. Usually when you hit retirement age, you've built. But when when your life changes and all of those assets are gone, how do where do you go from there? So you have to, look at what you're doing and say, okay, I need to do something that is going to change my life. And to me, this was it because it's already changed. It's
Yes.
already changed. And we have not even barely gone
Begun.
anywhere yet. And I already have it's a huge difference. I was totally amazed. It's like, "Oh my goodness. There's really hope that you can change your life." And even right now, even though we've already increased this much, there's still so much more to go that it's a great time to get started. As my friend Young says, "It's a great day to be me."
Yes.
I'm I'm
It
very
is a
happy, that I met you girls and the Digital Asset Sisters and that my friend reached out to me and invited me to find out, you know, who they
well,
were and what was happening.
we're happy to have you in our community, and you have grown so much. We've been with you this whole ride of you being on in digital assets, and I've just seen you grow so much financially. I mean, you are in a way more secure spot than you were before, and it's heartwarming for me to know that you have that security, that you have that growth, and then you're also positioned for very monumental growth in the future too. Not just financially, but mentally as well. And I've just seen your mindset grow, Cheryl, so much as well, where, you came in and you went after it. You were learning. But I remember that changing point for you where you were like, now I need to get over this hump. I need to invest. I need to really take action and do something about this. And now, ever since you've done that and you've really built out your portfolio and you keep going, I just see your mindset has completely shifted. You see opportunities where people see risk. You are able to understand how to mitigate that risk as you move forward. And then you're able to understand where you want to be. And I think have a greater vision for your life than you did before, which is awesome. You're dreaming and your relationship with God is beautiful. So I love that. Why don't you speak a little bit more towards your vision? I know you did a little bit, but what is your real goal with these digital assets? Where do you really want to be?
You
And what
know,
do you want to use them for?
I'm still dreaming. I mean, personally, I want to be able to have a place where my sons and their families can come and we can just hang out and spend time together. That's my love language is quality time. I need them to come. And actually my kids and my first grandson are here with me right now and they've been here for a few weeks. And my house right now is small and I would like to have something a little bit bigger so that
Yes.
I could do that. But there were there were ministry, um, leanings. There's how do you provide for people? How do you make their lives different that, you would make a substantial difference in someone's life? Not just, it's like they say you give a man a fish, he eats for a day, but you teach him to fish and he has food for a lifetime. And, that's part of what we want to do is to make a way for people to have a new life and to be able to provide for themselves, but that they have something behind them to know that they have a safety net.
Yes.
It takes a lot of the pressure off when you know someone is there who can help you and who's on your side because
Exactly.
people feel alone a lot. I felt alone.
Mhm.
I was like,
Yes.
my sons, their father passed away, and they did receive substantial amount of money, but that didn't come to me and, "Oh, yeah, mom, I'll take care of you," but, I wanted to be able to give something to them. It's not their job to take care of me.
Yes.
So, this puts
Well,
me
that's
in a different
amazing,
position.
Cheryl.
Yeah,
And yeah, and do you feel that now you're in that position, now that you've invested, now that you understand where these assets are going, even a better understanding of even where the world is going and how to position yourself to take on that wealth of the shift within innovation, within finances in the world, you feel like you're a lot more prepared to actually see those things come to fruition in your life?
definitely. Definitely. It's a huge difference. I used to look at it and go, what is happening?" But now that we talk about this all the time, we're on calls twice a week at least. And then my friends, we're discussing this daily. And it really has helped us grow and to have our fingers on the pulse of what is happening financially, not only in the United States, but also around the world. It makes a huge
Yes.
difference because you listen to what's happening, but you have a confidence in knowing what you have, the asset that you have is going to make a difference for a lot of people, not just me. It's gonna
Absolutely.
make a difference for our families, and we'll be able to make a difference for other people because we understand what we have. It's not something, well, you're gonna buy a stock and hope that it does something, or,
Right.
I mean, there are
And that
companies that have done that, but this is completely different.
yeah.
This is different.
And that's huge. Just having that certainty and that security, and I think when people usually think about crypto, they think about uncertainty and risk and not security. But as you've just shown coming through the Crypto Start program, learning why this is secure, learning how to secure your assets, learning why there's a solid foundation behind where these are going is crucial to success and to your peace at night too, so you can sleep. Um, so before we go here, I want you to be able to give one piece of advice to, let's say, w- who you were before. And if someone else is sitting on the other side here watching this video and they're like, wow, I am in the same position as Cheryl, of where she was. And I just don't fully know what to do. I don't fully know what step to take. I'm still wavering. What would you say to yourself looking back where you were at? And what piece of advice or encouragement would you give them?
I guess the biggest thing was the education. I had to be willing to invest in myself. And I think that's been the biggest change, has been investing in my own education and my own mindset, because there's a lot of things, we read books, we study about wealthy people, and how did they start? Many of them started with less than nothing, and they built empires. We don't even have to work that hard. But once we have these assets, we have to look at what we're going to do with them and not turn out like lottery winners who are broken in 5 to 10 years. Everything that they grew is gone. We want to set up a lasting legacy. So that, to me, that's more important than just quote unquote making some money to retire on. It's huge. So I
Yes.
like that I have that confidence to know that I am building something and that it's gonna make a difference in the world. I mean, I don't know how many people will know me. I'd like to hide behind the scenes. I don't want necessarily anybody to know that it's me that did it, but that I will have the ability to invest in people and invest in infrastructure and, do things that will last.
Yes. Wow, that's amazing, Cheryl. A great way to end this call. And I know you've inspired a lot of people just through this video here because a lot of people are in the same situation that you were, Cheryl. And you've been able to pave the way for them to show them that it is possible, that it's not just us young sisters, us young women, or young individuals that can take advantage of this space. but your age group can actually transform their outlook on their retirement, their life, their family dynamic, their future legacy, generational wealth. And it starts by investing in education. And it also starts by, changing your mindset, being able to get rid of some of those limiting beliefs and get over those. And you're just a perfect example of that. You're up over 300% in your portfolio. You're just getting started from your own words, which is a great start, if I have to say so myself. And, you just have amazing purpose in your life, Cheryl. And I know you're going to hit these goals that you've set for yourself. And you've truly invested in yourself. And we're blessed to have you with us at DAS and in our community. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me today. You're always a blessing to us. And I'm just so happy for everything that you've been able to achieve and just to be able to be there on the journey with you.
Mhm. Thanks, Caitlin. It's been great
Yeah.
talking with you.